sad music, happy music. Hello, everybody. Um, we will explore all these subjects. But first of all, let me just thank Seppi for a lovely, lovely scarf. Thank you, Seppi, on the top of helping me with the videos. She is my instructor. And also thank you for all your subscribers. We're growing slowly. The thing which I'm going to explore with you today is the theme on happiness, joy, and gladness, and see whether I can propose to you the differences. There are so many words attached to various of these states of emotional situation. Sometimes they come together, sometimes they mean different things. And as we're going through this week and Lent, hence the forest little piece of music, on the a bit more meditative, preparing, and also, and various different people have different times to be reflective. And dedicate this video to my beloved sister, the memory of her. She passed away last year. So let me just quote something, as I always do, and for that I need to put my glasses on. I start with the Buddhist saying about negativity of mind, and as there are many of us who feel sorry for ourselves, feel that we are hard done by, or basically stuck at the negativity and terror. And as Buddhists say, a negative mind will never give us a positive life. And as we all know, that we all have a desire to avoid the suffering, to find the happiness. And I just want you to hear me for a while, whether happiness can be found, or whether happiness is state of mind, whether happiness comes and is fleeting, whether joy is more of a nature of the internal life, and what is gladness after all. And I will share with you these moments of gladness which I experienced a few days ago, connected to my beloved godson. So I will read you a quote on happiness, which is Muhammad Gandhi's saying, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. One of the sense of happiness, I would call it an integrity, and as Buddhists say, it's not something which can be bought in Harrods, as I always say, the same like with wisdom, but it's something which is a kind of journey. If we use now a quote on joy, I will quote Stevenson, which I also am very fond of, and I will quote his sense and understanding of joy. Find out where joy resides and give it a voice. For beyond singing, for to miss a joy is to miss failure. Very interesting how he puts these things together. So I always say that we can be in all sorts of ways joyful. We can joyfully grieve, and we can joyfully be happy. We can be joyfully sad, and we can be joyfully living all our resentments. We have a well of wealth in the joyful approach to life. It is a complex. It's so. Why is happiness therefore something different? I often say that happiness can be mood altering. It could be really truly a complete addiction to happiness, the same as a love, a fantasy. I want to be happy. How many songs do we hear? I want to be happy. I want to be free. Well, what is freedom? This desire to somehow be in nirvana or be in some state of alternative reality is common, especially for addicts. Um, Joy, however, has a different tune, different music to it, to this word. Um, uh, as Dalai Lama put it, I see joy in every moment. Whether I have good day or not so good day, I'm not here to compete with universe, as he puts it. Most of us, when we are teenager, or we are teenager in much older and body and mind, we and we if we write poetry, we will write poems about our sadness, and about our sorrow, and about our heartache. And as I don't remember, some American poet said that, well, I'd rather, find more and find at this time of my life more rewarding to end in gladness. So there is a third word which I'm bringing to you, which is gladness. So rich life is about everything, and gladness probably involves faith and the nature of spirit. So it's a happiness, is joy and gladness. And I always think that you're glad because you see the flowers, or you're glad because you enjoy child, or you're glad because you're praying. God is glad with us if we are pleasing Him. And that is what I want to share with you, that this week, these few days, are full of gladness for me, and also full of sadness, joyful sadness, because one of my beloved godchild find his way home and is waking up to a different reality, and I am incredibly joyful, and I am incredibly glad about that. So the gladness involves a higher self, involves connection to something which is bigger than our ego. As apropos ego, I've read somewhere, I think it's also Buddhist saying, and the saying goes, the ego is such a small word, and it's very short word. But if we stay attached to ego, we may miss a very powerful and much longer word called relationship. So as we this week watching a drama unfolding with the whole situation with royal family and some of its members and the interviews, etc., there is the element, as I already listened to various comments, how much of the fragility of the ego is involved, how much of touchiness and how much of reactive situation is involved in this, and it damages everybody. It's not really anything but a desire to be happy, and happiness is, it could be achieved, by what? By fame or by money, as I always say. It could be intoxicated. It's like a drink. Sometimes people say, well, I will be happy. I remember one of my patients said, well, I'll be happy when I have 15 millions in the bank. I said, and I asked him why is he abandoning his children. He said he hasn't got much time for his children because he has to work and make this 15 million. I said, by the time you arrive at 15 million, some of your children may jump out of third floor out of desperation and dragged. Some of your child may run away, and you will be deciding that maybe you need 30 million. So to make your happiness depend on that is not very good. And as it happened, there was a drama as well. So what is happy? Some of the women would say, well, I would be happy if I have a new home, or if I have a better shaped body, or if I take some fat from my stomach, or if I put some fat on my bottom, or if my lips are smaller, or nose is smaller or bigger. The happiness would be depending on the physical sort of situation. Some people think that happiness is an absence of problems. Well, that's a dodgy concept of happiness, because problems are part of life and reality. And in that way, everybody wants to be happy. Probably being joyful might just be slightly better situation. Some people think that if they get better qualification or free masters or whatever, that would make them happy. So accomplishments in life. But if you look at children, they they don't expect anything. Of course, they have this fantastic ability to live in the moment, and they don't therefore waste the time. Some of the people, and I would see, unfortunately, Harry and dear wife, and that they would change the world, and then they will make the world happier and better place. And that is why do you think that you can change the world? People really have to take charge of changing the world, and if they do change themselves, the world will be better anyhow. The happiness is not somewhere which you can inflict upon anyone, and it's not out there. It's inside us, and that is the thing to strive for. I always ask people: is it your purpose to be happy? To laugh. I always say: are you ready to laugh? Are you really ready? Laugh when you're ready. Not when you're lonely or when you want to make somebody happy or when you make yourself happy. So I would put aside now happiness, because I find the word happiness slightly questionable in most of the time in my work, and we go back to joy and hope and gladness. We can find joy in the darkness of days. We can find joy in the happiest of days. And we can find a joy in the fact that it's not about absence of problems, it's about ability to deal with them. And that is an internal structure of our psyche which will give us. So we have to ask ourselves what brings us joy. Joy is a sort of attitude to life. I think it's African proverb: joy shared is a double joy. The joyful life, however, is made of different situations. There could be joyful moments, there could be graceful moments, and those joyful moments kind of string together, make our reality. Sadhguru, one of the people I listen to, in a wonderful human being, talks about joyful as involvement with everything around us. Everything which brings us joy is being alive, being involved, being conscious. What he put it, be what makes you a kind of a hard thing. I always say that I'm a person who is full of joy, and it has nothing to do with with perfect life, as my life is full of joyful pain and joyful grieving and joyful moments of happiness. Joyful is not something which is acquired, like about happiness. It's rather an attitude. Joy is not about anything but the spiritual discipline, and that is also a thing which makes us more conscious, and that leads us to gladness. Gladness is, as somebody put it, is it could be connected to beauty of nature, and where gladness comes from, probably from God's blessing, and gladness is something which can be reminding us that joy and gladness is linked to a spiritual life, and joy and gladness is also possible if the cup is full, empty, or full, half full and half empty. It is important, therefore, that we do not, in any form or shape, count on being happy all the time, but involve ourselves in the consciousness of joy. Dostoevsky once said that God is glad when our souls are praying. So accepting reality probably also be sort of a serious business of joy. I will quote something of Joseph Campbell now. Find a place inside where there is a joy, and the joy will burn out the pain. When the soul presents to all who see it the evidence of its gladness, it is not only happy, but it has an unspeakable power of doing good. Let's say a serenity prayer. God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Bye for now.